Kind of the biggest thing that you wanted to improve on from last year heading into this year?
I think a big thing is block destruction, and I've kind of said this before, and there's always room to improve on being ahead of the play a lot and formation recognition and seeing kind of checks from the quarterback and when motions come, what could be coming, stuff like that. So,
How are you better than a year ago?
I'm older. I feel like I'm getting older. I'm one of the older guys in the room on the defensive side of the ball, and I think I've seen a lot of football already. I feel like, so I think that's how I'm getting a lot better.
And when you're older and you're good, you receive some praise, and you've received some praise. How do you handle when people say, "Oh, he's one of the best in the country"? How do you handle something like that?
Oh yeah, like I was just saying, I kind of try to not look at any of that stuff that gets posted. And somebody will say it to me. I feel I appreciate it. I say thank you, but I kind of try to just avoid talking about that kind of stuff because the preseason accolades can come out, but they don't really mean anything unless they're after the season. So that's kind of what I just want to keep my head down and grind.
Looking back, how much of a blessing in disguise do you think it was for you to be able to play right away as a true freshman?
Yeah, it was. It's crazy just being thrown in there. Didn't really know much, and then I feel like it kind of pushed me along really like a lot faster. Being next to Austin Moore and Deuce, and having Deuce with me behind me all the time, kind of helping me, it pushed my development a lot faster. I feel like, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with some of the younger guys like Darian, and now that Gabe Powers is here, he's not a young guy, but still learning our defense. So I feel like I can help with that kind of stuff now.
How you feel Coach Standard maybe push you a little bit more this year?
Yeah, Coach has a really high expectation for all of us linebackers. It doesn't matter what anybody says about us. He's always going to push us because there's always room to improve. We have meetings with him. I meet with him all the time about stuff that I need to improve on, stuff that us as a unit need to improve on. So he has a high bar for us.
And how about what impressed you most about your performance last year?
I think just being confident in my performance and to be able to go out there and just cut it loose last year. So that kind of looking back on it, watching the film, I feel like I was really confident in a lot of things, and that's just going to help me as we go into this year.
At what point does the game become a little slower to you?
I think understanding the defense and what's going on in front of me and behind me makes it slow down tremendously for me. And then a big thing is us linebackers with our eyes is where we're keying, where our keys are pre-snap and then after the snap. If we can get our eyes right, a lot of the times the game slows down completely. And I've noticed when I first got here and my eyes weren't right, everything was moving so fast. But then now I'm able to calm down and see everything.
We've had a lot of people say that you spend a lot of time in the film room studying this stuff. How much time are we talking about here on a weekly basis?
I'm not really sure how much time I'm up here, but I'm always asking Coach Standard questions, always talking with Coach Klannerman in his office, just Coach Orloff, just always up here asking questions about like what I can see, what can get me better, like pre-snap, post-snaps.
Looking back from where you started, being thrown into the fire to where you are now, what are your thoughts on how far you've come?
I feel like I've come a long way. I was just Coach Katzer showed a video of special teams of me in my first spring, and I was like, wow, I was tiny and I didn't know anything. So I feel like just seeing how much I've grown just in a couple of years from the strength staff and mentally and physically,
What is it? What's your next step in your game?
Like I said, I think block destruction is really big for me. I think I've always had problems with looking in the backfield past a blocker and not focus on where my hands are and destroying a block. I feel like that's my big step is what I'm trying to improve on. Yeah.
In terms of weight, where were you when you came in and where are you now?
Well, as a freshman,
Yeah.
I came in at I think 225, and then I'm about 244, 245.